She was already dead when I called her name, but she smiled at me anyway. And that smile, I still see it every time I close my eyes. My name is Daniel Mercer. I'm a paramedic. I've seen things that would keep most people awake for weeks. Car crashes, overdoses, fires. You build a wall around yourself in this job. You have to. But nothing prepared me for the night I responded to a call at 412 Harlow Road. The night I watched a dead woman open her eyes. Welcome back to QP Stories, the channel where real darkness finds its voice. If this is your first time here, subscribe right now and hit that bell icon. We upload every week, and trust me, you don't want to miss a single story. If you're already part of our family, drop a comment and tell me, are you watching this alone? Now let's get back to Daniel and the dead woman who smiled. It was a Tuesday night in October, 3:14 a.m. I remember the exact time because I remember thinking, nothing good ever happens at 3 a.m. The call came in as a welfare check. Neighbor reported loud banging sounds, then complete silence. Address, 412 Harlow Road, Millbrook, Virginia. An old Victorian house at the dead end of a street that even the GPS seemed reluctant to go down. Me and my partner Rico pulled up in the ambulance. No police on scene yet, they were 20 minutes out. Standard procedure in a quiet town like Millbrook. Most welfare checks turn out to be nothing. An elderly resident who fell asleep with the TV too loud, a teenager who got into a fight with her parents. The house was completely dark, not a single light on inside. But the front door, it was wide open, just hanging there, swaying slightly in the October wind. "I don't like this," Rico said. I didn't either, but we grabbed our kits and went in. The smell hit us first. Not the smell of death, I know that smell. This was something else, something older, like wet earth and copper mixed together, like something that had been buried and dug back up. We swept our flashlights through the ground floor. Living room, empty. Kitchen, empty. A half-eaten bowl of cereal still sitting on the table, milk gone warm. Someone had been here recently. Then Rico grabbed my arm. There, he pointed his light toward the staircase. A woman was sitting at the top of the stairs, mid-40s, dark hair, wearing a white nightgown. Her head was drooped forward, chin to her chest. She was completely still. "Ma'am?" I called out. "Ma'am, this is EMS. Are you okay?" Nothing. We moved up the stairs slowly. I reached her first. I pressed 2 fingers to her neck and checked her pulse. Checked again. Then I looked back at Rico with that look we both knew. The look that meant she's gone. Her skin was already cold. The lividity, the pooling of blood had set in. She had been dead for at least 2 hours. Her eyes were closed. I stood up and reached for my radio to call it in. That's when she opened her eyes. I froze. Not because she was alive. Her pulse was absent. Her body was cold. I froze because her eyes, when they opened, were completely black. No whites, no irises. Just 2 dark pools staring directly at me, like she had been waiting for exactly this moment. And then she smiled. Not the weak, confused smile of someone coming back to consciousness, a wide, deliberate smile, like she heard a joke that only she understood. Her lips pulled back, slowly, too slowly, further than any human mouth should open. I stumbled backwards. Rico was already at the bottom of the stairs. I don't remember moving, but suddenly I was next to him, and we were both pressed against the wall, flashlights pointed up. She was still sitting there, still smiling, head tilted now, watching us. "Get out," I whispered. "Get out of the house." We backed toward the door. I never turned my back on her, not once. The last thing I saw before we cleared the front door was her hand slowly, deliberately, rising to wave at us. A small, gentle wave, like someone saying goodbye to an old friend.
Police arrived 18 minutes later. When they went inside, they found the woman at the top of the stairs, still dead, both eyes closed, no signs of movement, rigor mortis beginning to set in. The coroner ruled it a cardiac event, natural causes. She had been dead since approximately 1 a.m. They looked at me like I was losing my mind when I told them what we saw. Rico backed me up, every detail, but it didn't matter. The report said patient found deceased, no unusual circumstances. I took a week off, then 2. I went to see a therapist who told me that extreme stress can cause hallucinations, that paramedics are prone to PTSD, that my brain had invented what I saw as a coping mechanism. I almost believed her. Then, 3 weeks after that night, I got a text message. Unknown number. No name. It was a photo. The photo showed the top of a staircase in a dark house, a woman in a white nightgown sitting at the top, head drooped forward. And standing at the bottom of those stairs, 2 figures with flashlights, me and Rico. Someone had been in that house before us. Someone had been watching from the dark, waiting. I still don't know who sent that photo. I still don't know what we saw that night. But I know this. I have never gone back to Harlow Road. I have never responded to another welfare check alone. And I sleep with every single light in my apartment on. Because sometimes, late at night, when everything is quiet, I hear a sound from my doorway. A slow, deliberate creak. And I am terrified to look up. Last month, Rico called me. He said he needed to tell me something. He said he'd been having this same dream every night since that October. In the dream, he's back on Harlow Road. He climbs those stairs. He reaches her. He checks for a pulse. And in the dream, she has one. Faint, slow, but there. He asked me, "What if she wasn't dead, Daniel? What if we left her there alive?" I didn't answer, because 2 days before Rico called me, I drove past 412 Harlow Road. The lights were on, every single one. And in the upstairs window, just for a moment, I saw a figure standing there, smiling.
So tell me, do you think Daniel and Rico saw something real? Or was it all in their minds? And what about that photo? Who was watching from inside that house? Drop your theory in the comments right now. I read every single one. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds and it means the world to this channel. And if you're new here, subscribe and join the QP Stories family. We have new horror every week. And next week's story, it's even darker than this one. Stay safe, stay scared, and I'll see you in the next one.